Hello and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. Well, I think we can all remember a shit birthday. You know, the type of day when we're looking forward to a few beers down the pub, maybe a football match, maybe watching the Blues. But we open our presents and our senile Aunt Margaret, who's suffering with dementia, has bought us a Tottenham shirt. The game gets called off and the pub gets flooded. We've all had birthdays like that. Well, Chelsea had one like that today. Officially 117 years old today. The club had a bit of a nightmare, to say the very least, didn't it? Roman Abramovich had sanctions brought against him, and I'm all for that. You know, if we're gonna clean up football, clean up these owners, I look forward to tomorrow, when presumably our government sanction the Saudi owners of Manchester City and Newcastle, because they've got links to the people who are bombing the shit out of the Yemen and killing women, children, babies on a daily basis. So yeah, let's clean it up. And while we're at it, I've made my own sort of advertisement for Three, a mobile phone company whose entire product base is based on young kids mining cobalt and lithium, some as young as 5. And quite rightly, you know, with Roman Abramovich being sanctioned, those paragons of virtue have decided to suspend their sponsorship. Well, I've suspended 3 permanently. This is what I think of 3. I can't burn them all tonight. I'll be honest, I've burnt me thumb trying to burn this one. But in the morning, anything that belongs to me, Chelsea related, with a number 3 on the front, is getting burnt. And I will never buy a piece of merchandise with 3 on again, whether it be a phone that some little kid has died to make, or whether it be a Chelsea shirt if we sell the club and they ordain to sponsor us again. 3, we're finished. I hope the rest of the fan base feel the same way and do the same too. Also, write to 3, ask them what they think of child slavery. Maybe we can at least make these kids' conditions a little bit better, even if we can't stop them dying, because obviously people think more of mobile phones than kids' lives. So, what a day! What a day! The papers are having a field day. Initially we were told that the club can't be sold. Well, it can. It can be sold. As long as Roman doesn't make a penny out of it, which he's already said he won't anyway, and the government can somehow make sure that happens, the club can be sold. There was 10 interested parties the other day, and we now hear about a group of Saudi Arabians. I'm going to look such a hypocrite if I'm pleased because we've been bought by Saudi Arabians. I don't know. I don't care who owns us. I honestly don't. As long as they carry on investing in the team, even if it's not to the extent that Roman does, and as long as we can remain competitive, I'm happy. If we can do that with a more moral ownership, I'm all for that, obviously. But that's not the way the world works, is it? You don't get to be a billionaire without being a bit of a psychopath and having the right psychopathic connections. So let's just wait and see. But I think the club's going to be fine. The papers probably jumped on the chance to say Rudiger isn't happy the contract hasn't been sorted out and is more likely to leave. Well, I read it and it was just jargon. It was just recycled rubbish. Obviously he's not happy. The club haven't just come straight out and said there's your 200 grand a week, but there's nothing in there that says he's more inclined to leave. It's just newspapers doing his thinking for him. So yeah, I'm not going to get too downhearted. I'm just going to watch, see how things pan out. And you know what? Even if we're playing at Battersea Park, I shall be there as often as I can, and I'll be supporting the boys in blue the same way as I have all my life. It's quite funny. You already see some of the plastics bailing. So great. So let's get on with tonight. Tonight it was Norwich City 1 and Chelsea 3. First 25-30 minutes I thought we were absolutely awesome. I thought to myself, they're really doing this for the fans. They know the fans must be about as low as they can get. They know the fans must have been sent so many megabus pictures with the Chelsea team arriving at Norwich memes that they're probably up to here with it and stopped laughing hours ago. They probably thought those boys and girls need cheering up, and did they go for it? Was it a couple of minutes? We were 1-0 up. Chalobah header, got up, won it well. Shortly after that, 2-0. I thought the chemistry between Kai Havertz and Mason Mount in those first 30 minutes was absolutely electric. Some of the interplay, some of the passing, some of the movement was just out of this world. If that had been Messi and Neymar, oh, the commentator would have had to gone in the toilet for 10 minutes and do what he needed to do, because we were absolutely superb. So Havertz done a little bit of fancy footwork, put it to Mount, who finished it beautifully. Mason Mount should have scored another one shortly after, saved by Tim Krul. Mason could have had a hat-trick tonight, and then again so could Kai. But some of the play, as I say, was great. We then seemed to go off the boil a little bit. Still had chances. Norwich weren't really a threat. But at half time, I don't know if it was for injury or what, but Aspie went off. And we just got Aspie back, and I hope he's not off now, because he was playing really, really well. Aspie was off, and on come Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Not gone through the team, have I? Well, it was Mendy in goal. It was Aspie right wing back. It was Chalobah, Silva, Christensen centre of defence, and on the left it was Saul Niguez. In the middle we had Jorginho and Kovacic. In front of them we had Mount and Werner, and up front we had Kai Havertz. There we go. Ruben Loftus-Cheek came on, as I say, for Aspie at the start of the second half, and poor old Ruben, you know what, he's still a victim of his own versatility, because he's not a right wing back. He's probably getting slagged up here and down on Twitter, but he done his best. But we did lose something when that change came. Werner was so poor tonight. He was absolutely woeful. I won't say the lad weren't trying, because he was, but nothing came off for him. Absolutely nothing. He looked like a pub player playing in the Premier League. That's what he looked like tonight. Absolutely shocking. And I honestly think that Tuchel must have caught Lukaku in bed with his missus or something, because why he wasn't on so much earlier to replace Werner, I just don't know. I just don't know. If it's because of that interview, just forget about it, Thomas. We have, let him just get on there and try and do what he's supposed to be doing. Because Timo, I love you to bits, mate, and you've always given 110%. But I honestly think at the end of the season, maybe for your own sanity, you need to move on. Maybe back to the Bundesliga and start knocking goals in. Because I don't think it's ever going to happen for Chelsea. It's just one of them things. You won't be the first, you won't be the last. So then, bit of a shaky 10 minutes, and Norwich got a penalty. Chalobah around ball. I think Chalabar thought he was playing for the Harlem Globetrotters. That's one for the older fans. I don't even think they exist anymore. Might do. Um, but yeah, I think he thought he was playing basketball because it was the clearest handball I've ever seen. I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, Pookie took the penalty and sent Mendy the wrong way. I'm surprised we didn't have a goalkeeping substitution when a penalty was awarded. But there we go. Mendy let it in, and yeah, they had another couple of sort of half chances. Nothing major. They're a poor side. They really are. I mean, they're going down. I think Dean Smith's worked wonders with them, but they're a poor side. We just took our foot off the gas, I think. And then we had a couple of substitutions. We had Lukaku finally replacing Werner, and we had Kovacic coming off and Nagolo coming on. I think it was the last 5 minutes or 8 minutes, something like that. Waste of time anyway. Although to be fair, Lukaku nearly scored. He nearly got on the end of I think it was a Kai Havertz cross. And Havertz himself, he got a pass from Mason Mount, I believe it was, and the favour was returned because with hardly no backlift at all, he made it 3-1. Cap off a pretty decent performance from Kai Havertz. No doubt he's getting slagged as well. I don't think the lad can do anything right in some people's eyes. I thought he had a really good game tonight. He does flow in and out the game a bit, but overall good game. So there it was, 3-1. The icing on the birthday cake, I suppose you could call it. The players went out there and really gave us a performance to try and cheer us up, I think. And certainly the first 30 minutes was excellent, really excellent. After that, not so much, in the words of Borat. So let's get on to the players' scores. Mendy. Mendy, that some of the stuff he does with his feet, a pullback tonight that sent Pookie the wrong way. But I'm like that. I can't look. A couple of his clearances were like my drives at golf. I think they only got a couple of inches off the ground. But that said, he gets a 7 from me. No major mistakes, and apart from penalties, I always think he's going to save it. Sign of a good goalkeeper. Ashby, I thought he had an excellent first half. I think if he stayed on the pitch, he'd have been in contention for man of the match. Ashby gets a 7.5 from me. Shame he went off. Chalobah, who is he my man of the match? No, gave a penalty away, didn't he? He gets an 8. I thought he was excellent tonight. Young man, still learning his trade. Great goal. Some great defending. Don't know why he had that penalty away, but yeah, it was what it was. But he gets an 8. Really good all-round performance. Silva gets a 7.5. Steady Eddie at the back there, always looking to play forward. Some great heady clearances. You'd think that guy was about 7 foot tall. 7.5 for Silva. Christensen gets a 7. Played all right. Played all right tonight, and it'll be sad to see him going away. Looks like he's going, doesn't it? Looks like he wants to go. Tuchel's told him how much he means to the club, but you know what? If players want to leave, let them leave. No one's bigger than the club. He played all right tonight. He gets a 7. Sol Niguez gets a 7. Not really a left wing back, but puts a shift in. Lots of good defensive work. A couple of good balls forward. Midfield, Jorginho gets a 7.5. Always on hand to receive the ball. Covers loads and loads of ground. Decent performance. Cover gets a 7. Not really his best game, but not his worst either. And again, tried to make loads of runs early on, but just kept either getting fouled or trying to beat one man too many. A lot of times tonight, certainly after the first 30 minutes, Lots of Chelsea players making the wrong decision with that last ball. Bit frustrating, but I still remember that first 30 minutes. And after the day I've had supporting this club, those 30 minutes are what I'm holding on to when I go to bed tonight. In front of them, Mason Mount gets an 8 from me. Should have scored another couple. His decision making still needs to improve, but it's improving all the time. But tonight, 3 or 4 times he made the wrong choice. His finishing needs to improve, but these are all stuff that I know he knows. And you know what, when he scored and he come over and he kissed that badge, you could tell he really meant, I'm kissing that badge. And for those fans that give that young man stick, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. You're entitled to your view and I'm entitled to mine. You are cabbages. Doesn't always play great, but always gives 100%. That's one thing you can rely on with Mason Mount, and I think he's a hell of a footballer. Underrated, if anything. Timo tonight gets a 4 from me. Loads of effort. I think he's just lost. I think he's lost his confidence. I don't know what to say about him. Run around a lot, achieving nothing. Never looked like scoring. Never looked dangerous. Loads of time he made the wrong decision. Gave the ball away a lot. Just a poor night at the office for Timo Werner. Don't know if he's got shares in Abramovich's companies or what. He seemed preoccupied. Kai Havertz just gets my man of the match. Just beating Chalobah. He gets an 8.5 from me. Great goal near the end. Lovely, sublime finish. Great set up for Mount for the second goal. Worked hard. Lots of good defensive work. Always looked dangerous. It's like he is a Rolls Royce of a player. I love watching him, to be honest. Still needs to work on his physical side of his game, but played really, really well. As I said earlier on, sometimes disappears during games, but again, young man, that will come. So that was that. Not worth scoring the subs. Ruben Loftus-Cheek did his best, but he's not a right wing back. And Lukaku and Kante weren't on the pitch long enough to score. So that was it. Onwards and upwards. 3-1 to the Blues. Norwich are a poor side, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And the attitude and the skill level in that first 30 minutes was absolutely sublime. I think we ended up with 68% possession, which says all about that game. So Tommy Tuchel, he must have had some motivating to do after them players must be unsure what's going to happen to them, what's going on. It is a real time of turmoil, isn't it? But not the first one we've had in Chelsea's history, and I'm dead sure it won't be the last. But Tommy Tuchel, he gets an 8, because that first 30 minutes they were really motivated. Well done, Tommy, and nice to hear you come out and say you're happy at Chelsea, and you're just happy to see how things pan out, because that bloody TalkSport, they've got you on your way to, and Carragher, I'll spit the dog, he's got you on your way to United already. That ain't going to happen, folks. So let's all keep our heads up. Let's all get behind this club. And let 3 know what you think about their ethics. Do it on Twitter to their account or email them. And yeah, hypocrites or what? A bit like the British government, if I'm brutally honest. Not saying Roman shouldn't be sanctioned, but if he's going to be sanctioned, there's a lot of people out there, not all Russians, who need sanctioning as well. Okay, onwards and upwards. Sunday, Newcastle. Let's get another 3 points there, eh, boys? Really shove it up. Shove it up all these fans who are loving us being on a bit of a low. Well, I've got news for you. He who laughs last, laughs longest. Stick in there, folks, all you boys and girls. Thanks for supporting the channel. Please subscribe if you like these, and press a like. Apparently it helps me. Okay, folks, speak to you Sunday. Up to Chelsea.